Okay, IOBA, my name is TC. It's Sunday afternoon. The other night I did a video, I think it was Valentine's Day or the day after Valentine's Day. I was Friday night, so it was Valentine's Day. And I spoke about relationships and cheating and payback and that sort of thing. I don't want people to think that I think that I'm some kind of relationship guru, expert type motherfucker, because I'm not. I mean, I'm more of a Steve Harvey business mode, only different. Because I'm no Steve Harvey fan, but what we do have in common is I've been married 3 times. 3. And the 3rd time is the charm, so I'm very happily married now. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. But it took me 3 tries to get it right. So if I speak on something, just know it's coming from somebody who ain't, who did the whole trial and error thing before I could get the whole marriage game in its proper perspective. Okay? I had to put the marriage game in its proper perspective. And that means you got to realize if you ain't got no money, you probably ain't going to get nobody who has money. And when I say you ain't got no money, I mean you working paycheck to paycheck. You making between $30,000 and say $60,000 a year. You got bills, you got rent, or you got a mortgage, or you got a car payment, and you working a regular job where you hitting the clock or something like that. You gonna marry somebody kind of average. You got to keep the marriage game in its proper perspective. I see. Now, keep in mind, I ain't no expert, and I ain't gonna say that shit no more. I'm going from memory. But I watch a lot of videos, and I see average people coming on here asking for things that are not average. I see ordinary people begging for extraordinary shit. And that ain't how it works. I'm telling you, that's just not how it works. Look at him. If you went to college, and you have a degree in anything other than engineering, law, or medicine, then chances are you're going to have a regular job. If you have a skill that is at a certain level, blue collar, brown collar, or white collar, if you got a skill like you're a pipe fitter, an electrician, or something like that, yeah, you can make good money and everything. But good money is relative, isn't it? If you make $75,000, $80,000 a year in New York City, you're gonna struggle like a motherfucker. But if you make $75,000 or $80,000 a year in another part of the country, then you could be living a much better at a better level. So that's where your marrying material is. You're going to marry somebody who look like you. And they might not look like you physically, but they're going to look like you in other ways. You know what I mean? That's the best chance of happiness anyway. Marrying somebody who look like you. And for the people on the slow side of the game, this is what it means. Marry in your age group. Give or take 10 or 15 years. That's a wide goddamn range, I know. But give or take. Marry in your tribe. Marry in your income bracket. You dig me? Marry somebody that you got something in common with and can relate to. Otherwise, you're going to wind up like me with 2 or 3 marriages under your belt before you get it right. before you understand that marriage is give and take. Sometimes it's more take than it is give. Sometimes it's more give than it is take. But marriage, it's a full-time fucking job, I'll tell you that much right now. It's a full-time job that most people can't handle. Marriage is a full-time job that most people can't handle. Yep. Marriage sometimes, like, it's rare when marriage most times is one really good person marrying somebody with a lot of issues. Marriage a lot of times is one good person marrying somebody that's kind of fucked up. Marriage is also sometimes when two good people find each other and get together and know how to compromise and know how to understand each other and understand that this is the best I want to do. This is the best I want to do. Not the best I can do, the best I want to do. This is the best person for me. Because I recognize what I'm bringing to the table. I recognize who I am and what I'm about. And this person fits me and gets me and understands me. Me, for real, for real. And that's very hard. Most people never find that person. Most people struggle with somebody who don't understand them and that they don't understand. Sometimes they stay married to that person for a long fucking time. But there's a lot of bumps along the road, a lot of cheating going on, some separation, a lot of anxiety and angst within that relationship. But they stay married just the same because they have children together or their finances are so entwined until they can't break up or some shit like that. They got other reasons to stay together. But a lot of times when two people get together, they find out that they're very different from one another. That's where that equally yoked thing comes from, I think. That's where that term comes from. You know what I mean? When you marry somebody who's similar to you. And even that don't always guarantee that you're going to stay the fuck together. Because the divorce rate, let me tell y'all something. The divorce rate in 1976, 2 years before, 75, that's when I graduated high school. So 73, right, was about 50-something%. I know because we used to talk about it in high school. 50-something%. 49, 50%. Between 49 and I'm going to say 52%. That was the divorce rate in 1970 motherfucking 2. So, you fast forward all the way up to 2025 and the divorce rate is still kind of the same. So, I said that to say half the people that get married wind up divorcing anyway. It's probably going to stay like that. Because of what I said. Most people don't marry somebody who understands them and gets them and can really live with them. You know? These are the same problems that have been around ever since I was a child, and they don't seem like they're going to ever go away. So when I tell you something, I'm telling you from from knowledge that's been accumulated over a long time and watching and paying attention for a long time and seeing my parents and my parents' relationship, my relationship, my kids' relationships, my co-workers' relationships, my other co-workers' relationships. Seeing what happens, the ebb and flow of their relationships, all that shit is what I draw from. You know? Yeah, I've read some manuals and some books and some What Women Want and The Sensuous Woman and a bunch of men's titles that I've read over the years. I used to subscribe to this magazine called Players back in the day. And he used to have all of these articles about relationships written from a man's standpoint. You know what I mean? And they all say basically the same shit. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't consider myself no expert, but I do have a long-ass memory to draw from. I got a lot of research to draw from. So you can listen to me tell you something if you want to, and you can throw it in the garbage if you want to. But it's usually gonna turn out like I say it's gonna turn out. For example, quick example. The other day we were at work and we talking, because I work in a female-dominated industry, the education system, public school. And, we got a little downtime. We got talking. And the woman said, what's the easiest way or the best way to get a man to come back to you or a woman to get somebody to come back to you after they left? What's the quickest way to get somebody to come back to you after they left? The quickest and easiest way is to leave them the fuck alone. If they leave, don't go crying and slobbing out the mouth and following them around and stalking and calling and all of that old crazy shit, because that don't bring nobody back to you. Leave them alone. If they walk out of your life, let them walk. And don't call, don't make contact, don't email, don't fuck with their social media, don't do nothing. Don't like none of their posts, don't do any of that shit. Just, it's done. And if you can survive cold turkey without making any kind of contact, and I mean any kind of contact, for between 2 and say 4 weeks, then you good. Either they'll come back to you or y'all really broke up for real. Either because you're doing this on the premise that you want this person back. So leave them alone. If they meant for you, they'll come back. If not, then they probably have moved the fuck on and you don't need them anyway. And that time gives you time to, process having somebody exit from your life. Because, that's a process too. It's like phases. It is. But after about 2.5, 3 weeks of no contact, you can kind of fall into a routine you can fall into a routine and you can kind of move on. But like I said, by then that person may have come back to you because now they worry about what the fuck you doing. That's kind of a reverse psychology type deal. Leave them alone. You don't do nothing. You just keep on moving. Yeah, you hurting inside. Yeah. But you don't let them know you're hurting inside. And you keep on moving. And if they come back, they're yours. If they don't come back, what's the saying goes? If you love something, let it go. You dig me? So, I learned that shit from trial and error. And the material I read. You know what I mean? And the research I did. So, that's it. What you won't find me doing is, and I know a lot of podcasters do this, is they'll take some big YouTuber like, Kendra G or somebody, and they'll make reaction videos, and their whole thing will be based on those reaction videos. Nah, I don't need to do that because I've been in so many situations or have known about so many situations or have done so much research so that I don't need to do that. I do the research myself. I've done the research myself, and I've been in the personal relationships myself, and I can tell you how shit gonna turn out based on that. And it's just me talking to the camera, talking my shit, just like I do. But I'm gonna say it one more time. I ain't no relationship expert, nor do I pretend to be, but I do know some shit. And with that, I'm gonna walk. Y'all don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button on your way out. And thanks for coming by and listening to me talk my shit. And I'll catch you on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.